Yo, hey everybody, it's Drewberry, and we just got a surprise patch. It's a very small one, so I'm going to quickly run through everything that's just been dropped. Caught me off guard. I was just watching a show, having dinner, and then I got notified by the Berryverse Discord that a patch dropped, so let's go! Gotta check it out, right? So, let's kick it off here. I'm just in the official Discord. You guys should jump in if you're not already in there. We've got the Marvel Snap official Discord. So now we have a new feature, and that is titles. Titles have been added to the reward pool for collector's reserves on the collection level track. We don't have confirmation on what the percentage of this is going to be. People are already frustrated enough not getting the cards that they want, so adding something else might decrease the chances of seeing those new cards. Bit worrisome because I don't think people are going to care too much about titles, but hey, it's kind of cool. I'm going to show you in the game what these look like in a second. By the way, I'm pretty much experienced in this. I briefly went through this really quickly, but that's just about it. All right, next is character logos have been added to avatars within the avatar selection menu to more easily understand who each avatar represents. I don't entirely understand what that means, but I assume that when you go to the avatar selection, there's just like a more clear understanding of what the character is. Whatever. Boosters earned after a match will now favor cards with less than 20 owned boosters. This is kind of neat. I think they already kind of had this in the game. I think there was a bias to common or uncommon cards, but now it's boosters. So if you just recently upgraded a card, let's say to legendary, right? The orange border. Well, if you have less than 20 boosters and you still play with that card, it's going to have a favorable chance of getting boosters. That's cool. That makes it a lot easier to grind up a certain card, I think. Which I like that. I respect that. I hope that still commons and uncommons still get a priority as well, and then there just can be multiple priorities, and then those cards that you don't want boosters, just you don't see it. I hope that's the case. PC ability to resize gameplay window with default to 60 FPS. That's so small it doesn't even matter because all you had to do was click a couple buttons, so that's whatever. Some art and visual effects. So foil and prism card mods have been improved. The background art for cards with foil and prism mods should now be more visible. The card upgrade sequence has been sped up. I think a lot of people were kind of frustrated with this, especially new players when you're upgrading cards like crazy, so this is kind of a nice feature. They also updated a card visual effect for Magic to reflect her recent change. That might be good. People might not know that you can't play her on turn 6, so if there's some sort of indicator, that's great. We also got new audio for some of the locations. The only one I honestly care about is the peak. The peak was so awkward when its effect went off. So now that there's an audio cue, that's great. Okay, balance updates and the card updates. Now there's really nothing to talk about here per se. You got Daredevil, who's now available in the card series 3. That's what they're calling pool 3. And then you got Nick Fury being added to the random pool. I didn't even know that you couldn't acquire him from the random pool, so that's interesting. But then you also have Wolfsbane and Dagger to count unrevealed cards when determining their power gains. Yeah, that might have its situation every now and then. It's just not going to happen a whole lot for Wolfsbane, I think, anyways. There's locations that maybe don't reveal cards, and somehow Wolfsbane gets played there and reveals first, or something like that, and gets triggered. Like, I don't know, there's maybe some ways that this helps her out, but I think for the most part, you won't see that interaction very often. Whereas Dagger, this is actually quite a buff to Dagger. Before, if you had turn priority, you'd move Dagger to a location, and if the cards weren't revealed, she wouldn't get the +2 power. Now it doesn't really matter. If your opponent played 4 cards there on that single turn, you're going to get +8 power. That's a huge swing. So out of all these card updates, I think Dagger wins. Dagger wins the balance patch. Okay, and then there's a wide variety of bug fixes. I'm just going to pick out a few that I think are important, like fixed an issue that caused purchases to happen twice. Yeah, that's a good one to fix. Jubilee no longer triggers on-play effects for cards like Angela Bishop and Lockjaw when she pulls them from the deck. That's interesting. But yeah, besides that, there's really not much here. If you do want to see the full bug fixes, head over to the official Marvel Snap Discord. This is where I found the patch notes. You can read all of the bug fixes there. All right, so there's really not too much to show. I wanted to show the titles, but you can only actually get them from the collector's reserve, so I couldn't really show that off. But I do have a friend, my dude Poe, who shared in the Berryverse Discord that he got it in his first chest, Ballin' Out of Control. I think it looks pretty fresh. I'll have it on the screen here so you guys can check it out, what it looks like when you unlock it and then when you're queuing into a game. looks pretty good. But while I like the look, I don't love that it's in my collector's reserves. I think that's gonna feel bad way more than it will feel good, so I'd rather them not be there. Maybe they could just be like an achievement system would be a little bit better, like you destroyed X amount of cards, you got the title. That's what I'd prefer, but hey, it's not too bad. All right, and then lastly, I have the names for the avatars here. This actually doesn't change anything because when you're playing in a match, you don't see the name. So this is 100% just a tooltip to know which character is dedicated to which helps with variance, I guess. So that's kind of cool. All right, and that's it for this little patch update. Guys, I update you every single patch, so snap subscribe if you're looking for game updates and first takes on patch notes. I'll catch you guys next time.